No, it's 52. Look at that. I'm gonna like poke my head around the corner of this thing. No, I know. I just.
Solid green if you slide that down.
Are we gonna call? Yeah. You got it. Ooh, wait.
I'm short, so I can't see.
Is it like a bell or something
Colleen,
like
I thought
that?
the television swallowed your head.
Oh my God.
I don't have any table. Where's my table?
Or not yet. Don't have them. I do.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear on Zoom?
Okay.
Great.
Yes, ma-
That's what we're doing now. Thank you. Just throw belt over. Why not? How many people are coming here today? There. Yeah. It always fills in later. Oh, there's G Money. Hey, G. Hey, G.
It's very cold.
It's very cold in here.
I can give you my sweater if you'd like.
She is. So the HOA is like, okay, you're gonna pick up. No? People, yeah. Not be honest, I've actually known you people around.
I almost took her phone. Grab the phone. And she worked the slides. Oh, you, man. Is everybody in the back? That's right. Come right up the front. Sit right in the front. Thank you. Thank you. Are you staying? Here you go. Might leave my iced tea here, all right? Nobody wants to come back in this room again today, do they? They're afraid. It's too much. I didn't start yet. Colleen's not here. Downstairs is up. Everybody's up here? How is that possible? Nobody else. All right. Hey, Mark. How are you? All right. Well, I'm going to get started because it is right on time at 11 o'clock. Welcome everybody on Zoom world. Welcome everybody to our team meeting. We're going to kick it off for July. Is there anything going on? Nothing you want to talk about? That's what I figured. Well, we're going to start out empowering. This is our mission, empowering like-minded individuals in achieving and exceeding your wealth and personal goals. Here's how we work in the world. Here's how we move through life. Win-win, creativity, integrity, teamwork. Customers always come first. Trust starts with honesty, commitment in all things, equity, opportunities for all, communication. Seek first to understand. Normally, I don't read these at the team meeting, but I figured it's a good time for a quick refresher before we head out in the shifting market. Success results through people. So what I want to start out with is some bucket fills. Colleen did a great job with that, right? Some bucket fills. Let's talk about some good stuff. Who's got something good to tell me? I'm not moving on till I get 5. Robin. Yay! That's my father's birthday too. Congrats. That's great. What's next? Who's got something else? Yay! That's amazing. That's fun. That's great. What else? That's 2, 3. That's beautiful. It's a big win. Who's next? Robert. Are you hiding behind the pillow? Yes. Yes, that's good. Sardik, what do you got?
works and cheap for a man. So whatever, we got into conversation and then, get talking with when he does for his job. So I'm like, I started getting ready to pull out my card.
Mm.
And I didn't have any, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm a real estate agent over here. And, yeah, he goes, oh, great. He goes, I'm actually looking at another house over here in PA. And he said, I'm actually looking at selling one that I have in Queens. So
Wow.
it went to a whole conversation. All of someone who just said, oh, you know, the price real here are crazy. So
Well,
that's how weird.
that's how it's done. Nick, congrats. Because we're not in the real estate business, we're in the relationship business, right? So you make a relationship with wherever you're at. You're trying to help somebody out, strike up a conversation that's potentially 2 deals. You're helping somebody pick something up, sell something. Fantastic. One more?
Okay. So I'm so excited.
Yes.
Blood is congrats.
Yay, that's huge. Congrats. That's huge. All right. Survive the heat wave. It's funny because as we're going to talk about bucket fills now, and we're having a tough time, and then we're actually going to talk about happiness in a little bit. Perfect segue for a room full of squeaking out only 5 good things. Look at all these July birthdays. These are some good things. Happy birthday to those people. Cassie Transu was her birthday last week. Anybody today? Roro Boetti's coming up tomorrow. Happy pre-birthday. And Barika. Oh, she's not here. All right, our newest agents, Tobias, David, Maria, Vincent, Ashley Fox, Stevie Miller, Catherine, and Barry Ash. Is anybody in the room? You want to stand up, tell us just a little bit about yourself and where you work?
I came from the banking work. I just decided that's it.
That's
I
it.
said I had so much experience. I said, why I cannot potentially do my own.
Yeah.
My own business. You know, travel. I like to travel. Like to invest. I have a couple investments.
Beautiful.
So when can,
Yeah.
it's not a station.
Yay. Welcome. Hey. All right, let's take a peek at some of our numbers. So month over month, closed units were up 1.8%. Our closed volume is up 7.2%, up 5.7 year to date, which is great. Listings taken, we are double zeros. We are right on track month over month from last month. Year to date, we're up 0.6%. Listings taken volume, we're up 7.2% over month. Year to date, we're up 12.6%. Listings sold, we're down 1%. Listings sold volume, we're up 5% month over month, up 6.5% year over year. We've written 1.2% more contracts than last month. We have written 6.6% more volume from last month, and we have paid out 8.1% more than last month in GCI. We're up 10% year over year in commission. Okay? It's great. Give yourselves a round of applause. There's somebody is in the chat call. Oh, Maria let us know. She's a teacher in her first career, math and special education. She's excited to start with us. Welcome aboard, Maria. Sorry, we had to go to the chat for a second. Welcome our cappers. Let's congratulate them. Sandra and Sonia, capping club. Let's take a look at our market share. 13.6% Keller Williams combines. The next highest one is 2.5% market share. Do you want to let that sit? You don't want to talk about this? This is what gets me going. This is what gets me up in the morning. Come on in, Natalia. So, any comments on that? It really is. It really is. And then you got Weichert. Maybe there's some people that want to be over here. We could see. So there you go. You guys sell more real estate than anybody in the Poconos. Pike Wayne, that's what our Keller Williams is doing up in the Milford area. 13.4% market share, our Keller Williams offices, and the way we have Davis Chant is pulling in at 7.3. So there's been quite a large lead that's happened there. So that's fantastic. Congratulations to our Milford office. Now let's talk about our top producers. I'm super excited about this. We just saw that this morning, excuse me, the numbers just came out. Teresa Rocco. Sandra Domenico, number 2. Sonia Kern, number 3. Kristen Durger, number 4. Danette Troxel, number 5. Coming in. Hi.
All right, guys.
Get busy. Number teams, Dana Parrish team, number 1. Arlene Clark, Sean Berger, number 2. The Rosalie Tony Boetti team, number 3. Jess Keller, pulling in number 4. And the Russ Mattia team, number 5. Congratulations, guys. Top producing mega teams, Galligan Realty Group number 1. Woo! Kelly Realty Group number 2, the Lisa Sanderson team number 3, Jim Christman team number 4, and the Donna Stio team number 5. Congratulations, guys. Coaching milestones, here she comes. Coach of the Year, Cassie Transu. Here you go. You want the clicker?
I mean, you can just click it once, right?
Here we go.
Jaylene, you're not here. You're here. Jaylene had our first closing. She put up what, 3, 4 new construction or. Yeah, so. Melissa Castelline, first closing, she also is a dual. Cause she had 2 listings, got dual on both and,
Oh, do I need this? I need this.
so they can figure.
And Melissa is also our coaching agent of the month. She's phenomenal, guys. Like all the way up there in Milford, just killing it, crushing it. She's turning around, getting listings and having a good time doing it. So, and Melissa is always at everything. She
Yes.
is always in. She's always a pleasure to be around. We did an activity yesterday in coaching. And some of the words that were used to describe her just is proof of why she's the agent of the month. So congratulations, Melissa.
Congratulations, Melissa. Yay. All right. Let's see. All right. I'd like to talk about our ALC members. Who ALC is in the room. Please stand for a sec. We have Jess Keller, Robert Hoffman, Teresa Rocco, Barb Miller, Amy Galligan, and Kristen Durger. So these are our ALC members along with Sean Esposito, Irene Santiago, and Michael Wladlarczyk. So what this is the ALC wanted me to bring this up at the meeting, just so you guys are aware. I know there's some new agents in here. So we're a company built by agents for agents, and this right here is our board of directors. So they help run our entire office. They have input on any decisions that's made in policy guidelines, education, culture, and they run our committees. We have 3 committees. We have culture, education, and growth. Robert Hoffman, Barb Miller, Donna Stio are the chair people of our culture committee. Education's Kristen Durger, Sean Esposito, Jess Keller, and Teresa Rocco. Growth committee is Amy Galligan, Irene Santiago, and Michael. They are our co-chair people. If you have any interest in getting involved in anything happening at the office, please join a committee. It's a great place to learn leadership, learn how to run an organization of this size, and take some tips and tricks and take it back to your own business, right? So what I'd like to do is maybe just have a little brief update on maybe some of the culture things, and you guys could sit if you want. I'll call. Robert, you want to just give us a little quick update on culture so we know what's going on?
Parents that
children that are in school need supplies. Just know, the type of items that would be most useful. Know that that's gonna change over the different age groups. To make sure we're actually doing something very helpful. So anybody who has a list that they know that the kid needs, come and see me or, we'll make sure that happens. We're gonna have a golf outing, so keep an eye out for that. We're gonna do agent appreciation this year at the end of October. And a new one that we haven't done yet, we're gonna do a winter event sometime in December. We're gonna rent out the theater in town and have a night for us and our family. And maybe pictures with Santa. So that's on the plan. Keep an eye out for that too. We're gonna try and do these events maybe in lieu of happy hours to try and just get together, make it more family oriented, and hopefully get a nice turnout. So always feel welcome to invite your spouse, significant other, children, and even a co-op. It's a great time for us to invite those folks along and let them see what we're all about. We want to try and include fundraisers for our favorite folks over at OCW, great charity. But we'll probably try and target old scholarships too. So there's plenty of good people that are going to do really well in this business that could really benefit from going to Bold. And that's why we try and sponsor that. And we don't want that burden to fall on a couple of people. So even if you can contribute a little when we're trying to raise funds for Bold, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate it. Thank you. So we have a couple exciting announcements to make, and I'm going to kick back one slide. And Marty, if you don't mind coming on up, I understand that we sandwiched you in the middle here. So now I'd like to introduce Marty, who is a familiar face, new company. Marty, please talk to us. Sure.
Got it. Good morning. So I made the transition from Movement Mortgage over to Homefront Mortgage. Homefront Mortgage is a venture partner with Keystone Partner Group, similar to Keystone Title and similar to Safeguard. They're now kind of organizing around lending to make us just work together better, right? In terms of making it more efficient and being a broker, not only do they have more product, but their costs are much lower so they can pass on better rates and give us more buying power. I don't know if everybody knows me, so I'll give you my quick background, an MBA in finance from Rutgers. I own 2 Airbnb properties in Lake Harmony. With partners, I have a property management company for short-term rentals with 21 online and 25 properties. And I'm also a co-founder of the trade association that put on the STR conference in March with PMAR and the Visitors Bureau. So I really do understand lending, real estate, finance, can help your first-time home buyers with down payment assistance and help your experienced investors. Feel free to ask agents who work with me if I really do have that background. So let's close more deals together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marty. I appreciate it. Marty, we're lucky to have him, and we're glad that he switched over to Homefront to our new joint venture. Appreciate it. Thank you, Marty. Yay. So I'm glad that they're here. I have a slide for you guys. A couple of our people went out to Texas to do a QL summit. And I'd just like to get some takeaways, if you don't mind. We have Natalia, Michael, and Mark who went out. If you could give us a little brief snippets of some things that you took away that might be helpful for the group. Not like to put you on the spot or anything.
Overall, it was a great experience. It was my first time going out there, as well as Natalia's. Mike's been there 3 times now, I think. Biggest takeaways was just kind of, reconfirming everything that I learned in my initial QL sessions here locally, and then just learning it from the guy himself,
From Gary, yeah.
So just being able to see how he operates and how he works was just really cool to see, and him just teaching just all these young professionals and entrepreneurs. Which is overall a great experience.
What's amazing to me is we think about KW, we think it's such a huge organization, right?
Mhm.
We're going to get lost in the shuffle. But here you are in rooms with the Gary Keller
Yeah.
teaching you directly, right? We have like immediate access to people at the top of the company, any kind of resource that you need. That's great.
And
Great.
so I didn't really mention a takeaway. So biggest
Yeah,
takeaway.
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 I gave you a couple minutes to think about it.
Definitely was, create a path of mastery towards something. It's, you don't want to go through life kind of zigzagging.
Mhm.
It's when you have an actual point, like it's okay to zigzag, nothing wrong with that. But if there is a point that you are trying to reach, having a clear path towards that just becomes so much more easier. So goals are important.
That's
That's it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Michael?
Yeah, so to second that, I would say the same thing. My biggest takeaway was also about picking one thing and working towards it, mastering it. I find that that's rang true in my journey so far. There hasn't always been a very grand plan of what the end goal is going to be. It's just setting one goal and then working towards it. And along the way, you have a lot of different doors that open up. And by basically practicing achievement of goals, you're able to better recognize when opportunities come your way. I strongly believe that a lot of those opportunities open up for most. It's just the difference between those who are able to recognize them and take advantage of them and those who are a little bit less attentive to the doors that open up. So that was my big takeaway. I got to ask Gary a little bit about what questions we can ask ourselves to differentiate genuine self-doubt and a need to reposition and restructure your plans versus self-doubt just being self-doubt. Like that's just part of the process and you grow through it. He wasn't really able to answer the question per se, it's very personal, but a constant reanalyzing of your path and what you're working towards is important. So for me, one of the big things is, every month sitting down, reviewing things like finances, reviewing business numbers, and kind of repositioning those goals to set yourself up for the future and make sure that whatever it is you're working towards is still something you genuinely want to have, not something you're doing just because it was on a checklist and you want to cross it off. So yeah, it was an incredible experience. Gary was in a great mood. He was cracking jokes left and right. It was awesome to see him so relaxed, and you can see just how much he loves to do QL and how much he looks forward to teaching it. And like Karen said, that was my big takeaway from 3 years ago when I went for the first time. It was 2 years ago. Just a shock to see how accessible these people are, within our organization, leaders who are willing to share and willing to offer advice and help in whatever it is you're working towards. So if you ever feel like you can get lost in the shuffle very easily, just fly down to Austin for a weekend, and I guarantee you're going to run into some people. And if you see that door and recognize it and have a chance to talk to them, then take full advantage, ask questions, and it'll benefit you in the long run.
Thank you. Mark, do you want to piggyback on that?
Yeah, I want to quickly say I don't think there's any other company that just does something like that where it's so easy to just talk directly. Well, you get talked to directly by the CEO of the company.
Right.
But still, he was taking questions. He still, Mike's question was great. He was talking about that for like 15 minutes.
You're in the room.
Yeah.
That's the opportunity.
I can't, I've been in this for almost a year and a half. And I'm already in a classroom with the founder of Keller Williams.
With the OG of real estate. Yeah.
Of real estate, just genius. So it's humbling.
That's amazing. Natalia, you want to hop in quick? Give you a minute.
Hey guys, real quick. So I learned that
Nobody can succeed alone. And if you have a good plan, and hold yourself accountable and be honest with yourself on setbacks, especially don't like brush them off. And then also thank you to Cassie for just always reminding me to celebrate your wins. Like both of them on each end of the spectrum is so important.
Yeah.
And that was, I guess, my big takeaway. So
That's-
I had a really good time and thank you
great.
so much
And
for allowing me the opportunity.
absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
so you'll absolutely be going back to Austin again, I'm sure, because it's the place where a lot of us go to fill our cup up. So I know we preach mega camp, family reunion, all that stuff, but honestly, it's a place where we go to fill our cup too. So you got to see a little bit of that, and now you get to feel that too, which is really cool. This is a beautiful segue into, if you guys don't mind me getting a little vulnerable here for a second. Do you mind? All right. I figure we're amongst friends, right? So I was just scrambling and I didn't know what I would talk to you guys about today, because I'm going to tell you, my mindset has been in the toilet. I've been in the dumper myself. I feel like I was just a hamster in a wheel, running around, doing the same thing, doing the same thing, doing the same thing. And what I talked to my coach about it, I said, you know, I recognize that I haven't spent any time on any personal development, like at all, because I was tired. I was tired and I was just going through the motions every day, doing what I needed to do to move the needle a little bit. But I wasn't finding any kind of happiness or any kind of joy. I'm going to tell you, I felt depleted and I wasn't pouring into myself. What was I doing? I was laying on the couch. I was watching Jersey Shore marathons, literally from the beginning. And I couldn't figure out how to change myself. And I sit up here and I talk to you guys about mindset a lot. And it was like, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. So last night, I listened to a couple different podcasts yesterday and I was thinking, what could I give back to you guys? But what happened is it actually, I found something last night after listening to multiple things called The Art of Living with Matthew McConaughey, Rob Dyrdek, and it's an Ed Milet Show podcast. And it's all about joy and happiness. And so what happened is along the way is me trying to find something to talk to you guys about actually hit something really deep inside of me last night that changed my perspective on these two concepts. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about it because maybe you're going through the same thing that I was, where I know of all the changes that are happening. I know how we feel. We've been dealing with it for months with getting everything in order to present to you guys. I know it's scary and I know it's challenging. Sometimes it feels like we were running on fumes. And I stopped when we got to this point about joy and happiness. So during this podcast, Matthew McConaughey talks about green lights. I don't know if you guys know, he has a book out called Green Lights. It's very good. It's about identifying green lights in your life and actually making choices to set your future self up for success. So it's all about the fast lane, the left lane, hitting those green lights and going forward. And how do we set ourselves up for success down the line? But what he does, and this is something that struck the chord with me, is the correlation between joy and happiness. So what Matthew McConaughey tells us, and he also has another thing called Road Trippin', and that actually is like a motivational series. Joy is not the same thing as happiness. Joy is enjoying the process of doing. There's a peace in the process of where we're headed. Happiness is more of a results-oriented emotion. If I get this, then I'll be happy. If I do this, then my life's going to change. If when, you're always, if I hit these goals, then I'm going to be this. There's no ta-da moment that happens with happiness. You think there is, but then what happens is once you get to the top of the hill, you see that there's another hill. And then you just keep going and you're on this cycle, right? And I was on this cycle. But what I didn't realize is I was not enjoying the process of doing at that time. So what they're saying is let's find peace in the process, in the systems, A runner loves running. They don't stop at the finish line. They get back out there and run just to run because they enjoy that. It's not about winning the Olympics or whatever. An Olympic athlete goes out and they wake up at 7 o'clock or 3 in the morning or whatever the hell time, way earlier than me, to get up and do what they want to do. It's not for the accolades, it's for the joy in maybe getting in that pool, honing my skill set and doing that thing. So are you guys enjoying what it is you're doing every day? Because if you're not, then we got to talk about what is it that we need for you to be doing to get that happiness out of it. Because what they talk about in this podcast, and it's my goal, I'm basically bastardizing this, but it's my goal that you'll actually just listen to this. It's a good hour. What they say is, with joy, put the finish line all the way out past your target. So you want to sell 30 homes this year? What about I want to sell 300 homes? What about I want to sell 30,000 homes? So a runner doesn't stop at the finish line. They always aim past it. A sniper doesn't aim at the target. They aim past it in order to hit it, right? So what they're saying is put it all the way out and get comfortable in the process and enjoy that. So if you don't like that or what process you're in, guess what? You're in control of your calendar and you're in control of your day. So Rob Drydeck, he really nerds out and geeks out over this because this guy, he's an actor and then he's an entrepreneur and he does all kinds of stuff. But what he does is he actually took his calendar and he uses his time with absolute intention, all of it. He says there's a rhythm in his own existence. So what he does is he tracks all of his time, then goes back into the calendar and says, this is how I felt during that task. This is how that made me feel. He's honed this down so well that he has spreadsheets that he could pull analytics that says, I only spend 4% of my time doing these things that I actually love. And I felt this way. So how do I get more of that stuff in my calendar? He literally optimized his systems to run the most efficient life. Well, yeah, Karen, but I have clients and I have people and they want to see this and they're going to take my time. That guy runs 6 businesses and has TV shows and all kinds of other things. But see, you designed your calendar bouncing around from thing to thing to thing. We put things in half-hour blocks. We put them in an hour blocks. They don't even take that much time. We just make them take that much time because that's what's in our calendar. You're not optimizing. Meetings don't need to take an hour. You could come back in and say that only took 35 minutes. Then you schedule out 35 minutes moving forward. I understand that this may not excite everybody, but if you get involved in this type of focus makes you live a life worth intention. This is the life by design that we always talk about, not by default. We say it at KW just in a little bit of different way. So if you're running and bouncing from thing to thing to thing to thing, that's what I was doing over the past couple weeks. I was bouncing around and I felt like I didn't have any feet. Like I felt like I had no legs. Like I had nowhere to stand. I didn't have a leg to stand on. I was just someone showing up. And I don't want to do that. That's not what my goal is in life. So this really resonated with me because it's the joy. I get so much happiness out of knowing what the end game is that the little stuff can't bother me every day. So what I'd hope for you guys to do, now that we're going through all of these changes that are happening, is maybe just take a look at what gets you going, really be intentional with that, and understand that there's going to be a rhythm to this. It's not the strongest or most intelligent that are going to survive, but those that can best manage change. And that's a Charles Darwin quote that I found for you guys yesterday. I know that there's a lot of anxiety around a lot of what's coming down the pike, but you guys need to understand there's people coming into our industry that haven't known anything else. So they're going to be trained and they're going to be skilled that this is business as usual. While we're here creating this drama around what's happening, why don't we embrace this change and get out there and be like, go ahead and dominate the rest of the industry, and let's help some people along the way. Because I know that a lot of concern yesterday when people left the room was, oh my God, I'm not necessarily nervous for me, but I'm nervous now for working with agents out in the world. Are they getting the same training that we're getting? Well, I don't know, but you're trained. So why don't you go help them? Can we be that person out there instead of the I'm better than you and I'm going to fight with you? Let's go out and help lift these people up, because I'm going to tell you, they're just as scared, if not more so than you, because they don't even know what's coming. So if we could just do that, that'd be great. I also just want to point one thing out too, and get off of this. We're going to see some changes coming down regarding compensation. To me, you guys are all independent contractors. You guys all run your own businesses. Whatever you want to do, however you want to compensate, however your seller wants you to do that, there really can't be any judgment here with us, with our other agents that are in our office. We can't say, oh, well, Amy Galligan's not paying out on this. And now we're talking about that. This is going to be a different way to run business, and we still need to maintain the integrity amongst each other and not talk about things that are going to happen here. Everybody has their own decisions to make, so we're not going to judge that here. And I know Bob's not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to tolerate it. So here's the thing. Let's try and live by our belief system and really lean into that, because it's not hokey. It actually works. They talk about this, who you want to become, and who you want to become in life is a process. When you actually get to that point of who you want to be, it's all about that personal development that you did along the way that realizes that you just keep moving that, you move that target, you just keep moving it out, because now I got so much better. I am this person, but I want to grow more. I want more for myself. Let's go be that person. Let's get excited about it. This is your opportunity for change. Like Bob says, oh, I've been in business 40 years. I've seen so many industry changes. This is your change that you're going through. And it's your time to go and dominate market share. If you don't know how, we'll teach you. Right? So that's all I got on that. Thank you. Gonna be good. I don't know if that made any sense, but it makes total sense to me. I think it's because I listened to it. So I recommend you guys go listen to it, because he really, honestly, for people that love spreadsheets and analytics, this guy gets real deep and crazy, Robert Hoffman. He gets nuts in actually pulling the analytics and stuff. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. So I gave you the little fluff on top, but he really pulls out data. So you'll probably enjoy that too. So all right, let's talk about some other things. If you guys are interested in hearing more about the settlement, download here. Value Squared. Let's listen to this little video from Jason Abrams. I do want to point out that Value Squared will be taught again August 1st at our Scranton Market Center. Jim will be going up there to teach. So if you guys want, they did open it up to everybody if we want to come up there too. So Colleen will be sending out a link to register if you guys want to head up there. Okay, let's listen about what Value Squared is from Jason Abrams, our Director of Industry and Learning.
Have more repeat and referral business. I interview real estate agents, the top ones all over the world. And you know what they all tell me? Value is the key, and they're right. Every time you enter somebody's living, what you've done is you've entered the arena of value. Real estate agents that articulate it the best, those are the ones that win most consecutively. Not only that, but they have a career worth owning, and not just a good year, demands that you are an expert at knowing the value that you provide and making sure that that proposition is in lockstep with what the consumer of today wants. And friends, I'm here to tell you, there's a misunderstanding about what they want. That's what we unpack in this course. How do you create your value proposition? How do you build trust both before, after, and during the transaction? How do you then go present your value proposition? And most importantly, how do you then stay in relationship for the rest of time with them, earning repeat and referral business? Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote the book on residential real estate. It's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. They came together to do the interviews that created this class. The three of us together presented in a way that you can understand it and work through on your own during it. We're going to prepare you for the challenge of today's marketplace.
Industry is about having knowledge, demonstrating that knowledge, and then using that knowledge in a way that helps people make great decisions that are best for them.
This course is a timely one. It wasn't written 5 years ago. It was written 90 days ago and has the information that you need to thrive today. If you deliver a court service in a way that uniquely the seller or the they say it becomes something you can market to get more leads. At the end of this course, you are going to be a value expert. Welcome to Value Squared.
So right there is the answer to all your problems, all the questions that you have. So when you call me up and you say, Karen, I'm on a listing appointment, I don't know how to XYZ. Karen, what do we do in these situations? Literally pour 4 hours into yourself and your business and go learn how to do this at a high level. Or watch the video again. Also, this one I'm not going to play, but this one's great for our analytic people. Market snapshot. If you guys want to watch this, a 10-minute video, it'll be in the link on the slideshow. That gives you an overview of all the data with the housing industry, okay? We're not going to do it right this second. Mega Agent Camp, we're preparing to head out in August. So whoever's coming is coming already. That's it. We have Michael and Mark going, right? We have Jim Galligan's going, the Jim Crispin team's going, I'm going. Whoever else wants to come. Cassie's in too. Family reunion, we could do this together. We could go to Vegas if we want in February. I'll be there. Tickets available now, early bird pricing. I wanted to have Colleen talk about some technology right now because there's a little bit of some extra tech that we have. I thought it'd be important for you guys to see what this is and what this looks like.
So
Take it away, Colleen.
So everybody has to make sure that they have the KW Command app downloaded and up to date. If it's not up to date on your phone, please make sure you update it because all of the new features you want to be able to see. One of the new features would be KW IQ or Quick. It's KW AI chat. So you can ask it KW related questions and you can do it both on your phone, on the go, on the app, or on the desktop version of Command. So to access it via Command, log in. So you can't ask it, how do I get more business? What's the best lead in my database? You can't ask it questions like that. But you can ask it questions such as, what is the MREA? What are the 3 L's in real estate? So if you go into Command, on the bottom right-hand side, there's a little circle that's teal with white stars in it. So if you click on that, this is KW AI. Now, please use this in a TCPA-friendly way and do not call. And I'm having a do not call list class next week. So if you have questions on that, please come. But if you go into KWIQ, always verify the information because it's getting smarter as we ask it questions. So keep that in mind. But if you go into this chat box, you can type in, if you're having an open house, there's an open house checklist. So you can go in and you can say, open house checklist. And when you press send, it's going to, as long as the internet loads it, it's going to give you a full checklist of all of the things that you would need for an open house. Now, it's generalized, it's not specific to our state, so keep that in mind when you're going through this checklist. Now, in addition to that, if you wanted to know more about the MREA, more about Command, maybe the first steps to getting started as a new agent. These are all questions that you can ask the AI chat box. It is really helpful, especially if you're getting to know Command and maybe it's 9 o'clock at night and you can't reach anyone. It's very useful because you can go in and just start asking it all different questions.
Let me just hop in 1 second too. If you even put in here buyer scripts, FSBO scripts, that stuff will come up and it will actually point you into directions of some learning education classes that they have and some additional resources. So that is available there too. Sorry, Carl.
So it's TCPA. So as long as you're following TCPA guidelines, meaning that you're following the rules of the do not call, and you're not calling people that are on the do not call list and things like that, or sending them notifications, then you're doing things in a TCPA friendly way. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, and
TCPA, DNC,
Telephone Consumer Compliance.
exactly. All of those.
Compliance Protection Act. Do that. Make sure they're not on the do not call list. Colleen will be teaching a class next week.
Yep. And there'll be more. Because even if we're using AI, we have to make sure we're doing it with TCPA laws in mind, and there's disclaimers at the end, like after you download things, it will say, make sure you're doing it TCPA. I think the whole room didn't know probably. So in here, you can also go to your chat history. So if you remember that you asked it a question previously, you can go to the history and you can see all the questions that you've asked in the past. Now, in addition to this section, there's also KW Connect. So some of you that have been with the company before, you may have seen this on mykw.kw.com, which is eventually going to be phased out once reports are available in Command. But for now, we can go to KW Connect through Command, and you can search for scripts like Karen said, so you don't even have to necessarily use the chat box if you don't want to. You can go to KW Connect and you can search for scripts. You can search for Ignite materials, bold materials, all different things. And there's a search feature right up here. You can save things that you can go to My Learning and find that information. So all of the tools and resources are in here if you need them. And that's all I have for now.
Thank you, Colleen. Any questions on that? No. Hey, Ax. It's pretty slick. Don't be afraid to ask a question. Test it out. Try and see, because like Colleen said, the AI gets smarter as we continue to use it. Okay? Should I hit it? The KW Podcast Network, we have the MREA podcast. That's phenomenal. You guys hop in on that. Think Like a CEO, The Color of Money, Empire Building podcast. Our upcoming events with all of our communities, Keller Inc. book subscriptions. If you guys want to get your read on, they have some stuff. Send it out to your clients. I don't know. Why don't you order a case of flip books and send them to your investors, or hold? And use it as a touch. Make it easy for you. K-Score, as we know, we have Lisa Gilmore and Cassie that are holding down our K-Score. It is our in-house school that we do have potential scholarships available that you can go to get your real estate license. KW Cares, it's KW Cares month. We need to raise some money here for Mo's birthday. I'm not going to do this on Founders Day. You guys can read this later. What I'm looking to do is hop right into broker moment with Bob Hay. Hit it. No.
But we came to class yesterday. That was the first session. Next week, Wednesday, we'll do the second half of it. By the way, I mentioned to Rosalie is if you have questions, we'll have a little extra time because most of the changes in the forms we went over yesterday. Should I say the form had an change we went over yesterday. So we'll be answering questions before. We'll be answering some questions before we start the second half of the class. And then the following week, we do the first class all over again, and then the same with the fourth. So feel free, if you want to come back to all of them just to freshen up. You can't get too much of it. It's good to take more. PAR has a webinar on the 16th of July. That's coming up next week. That they are going to be doing. I'd encourage you to take that as well, because again, repetition is helpful, helps make things a little more clear. And so take that. The disadvantage that you'll find on the PAR website, it's not interactive as we did yesterday. So, but it's still very valuable, and they're going to be. I think Hank Lerner is teaching that, which will be real good. So, yeah, I had mentioned yesterday that we're always in the changes, and it's a matter of are we afraid of them, or are we going to come out and get educated and be on top? And we have the opportunity to do that, and we have agents that are not going to have the training and all, and that's going to be probably our biggest challenge. I think Karen alluded to that, but we're going to have patience and work with them and educate them. So that's pretty much what I have. Open up for any questions. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Bob. Fantastic. Let's really give him a round of applause for the amount of work that he's been doing, and David, to get everything prepped for these changes. Seriously. Thank you, Bob. Reminder, please be sure to RSVP for all events. I cannot stress this enough. I am going to hammer this home every time I talk to you. We don't know how many people are coming to anything. If there's 3 people that say they're RSVP'd, we are not going to bring an instructor in here to do this, and they're volunteering their time. So, I mean, to me, if you're going to go to something, you RSVP so those people know. You don't just show up and expect to get fed, right? Because we'll cancel things. If we don't have enough people, we're going to cancel things. I'm not going to have people waste their time and that they're volunteering to educate us. So please make sure we do that. We want to make sure everybody's accommodated. Upcoming training. So Michael, he stepped out here, but he's teaching directly after this. I got the listing, now what? That's today at 12:30. So Michael's going to actually share his entire systems and processes with you. I believe his TC is going to be on there. So he's going to take you from soup to nuts, what happens as soon as he gets a listing, checklists, all of that stuff. So if your process is not in order, you need to be there and hone your processes. And you better streamline them and get them prepped and ready to go for the changes that are happening. So I got the listing, now what? Do that. Upcoming training, contracts mastery. It is mandatory that you come to classes 1 and 2. We don't care what order that you come into them in. This upcoming Wednesday will be part 2.
I just want to say, I don't think a lot of people say this, but I feel so secure being in this company with you at the helm. I'll tell you.
We're very fortunate. We are very fortunate to have our broker team, for sure. Upcoming training, you guys asked for this and you got it. How to use the do not call list. You wanted it? Here it is. Colleen's teaching it next week. How to use it, how to be TCPA compliant and in a friendly manner. Ed, put this right in on your calendar. No.
She used it in reference to AI.
No, I know. But that's coming up next Thursday at 1. Let's keep the deal together. We have the mastermind that goes on every Friday at the Scioto office. I hear it's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sorry, Friday, once a month, next Friday, the 19th. I'm sorry about that. I just got excited. I want to talk about it every Friday, how we're keeping this stuff together. Upcoming office event. We have a meet and mingle happy hour at Blue Ridge Winery. That's on Friday the 19th at 5 p.m. All of our marketing pieces are not branded with Keller Williams. It is the anticipation that you guys will actually invite people to come with you, and you could talk to others that are not with our company. Invite some co-ops. Let's mingle around, because you're going to work with these people. Maybe there'll be prizes. I don't know, if somebody brings the most amount of people. I don't know. There's a QR code here. Thank you, Michael. You wanted the QR code. It takes a village. QR code. scan the code and register, right? And put the co-ops on the sheet with whoever you invite and bring with you. So if you have somebody that you'd like to bring with you, slap it, put them on the sheet. We'll reach out as leadership too to send a nice invitation and get them to come and hang out with us. But this is not a recruiting event. I will not be hounding your people. This is a social hour, I promise you, okay? With the bow tie. You have to wear the little bow tie. Upcoming training V2, like I just said, is in August 1st in our Scranton Market Center. Okay, I'd like to just reintroduce our affiliates, KPSS. Just really quickly, Lori, did you want to say anything?
She's going to be training. What? Yes, he's so sad.
Lori's has a training coming up. Kristen is Lori's spokesperson.
Can you just
Yeah.
repeat the date? Yes, so the training with KPSS and Lori is going to be on the 23rd, from 3 to 5.
Here will be Zoom, but will also be.
What?
An open mind. Oh. And yes. Bring your mind. The big takeaway from that is going to be nice to your title people. And not all closings have to happen on the last day of the month. But what we are seeing, we understand how anxious you guys are to get your deal closed, but let's be really realistic with your closing dates. Titles today are ugly. Sellers are doing things that we have never seen before in our lives. And we're scratching our head, well, how do we fix this? We go back to that seller, and of course, they're not real cooperative. So these are just some of the challenges that we're having in today's world. We've got lenders that want to see credit cards, paid off on the buyer and the seller side. Seller side, your credit cards aren't paid now. We know a lot of people are getting behind with that. They're filing judgments. They're not just considering it a personal loan anymore. And we've got to get that paid. Those sellers are very reluctant. So just bear with us as we're going through our new challenges too, because we want to work with you with your challenges. And don't forget your title company and let us know what your commission is going to be. But the training, that's all about, well, what do? You do your job, you go out there, you buy, you sell, you do whatever, you send us the agreement of sale, and then what happens? Well, this training is going to let you know why we do what we do and what do we do with that information.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see you all there, whether you're brandy new or you're a seasoned agent.
You gotta
things have
go.
Changed, and really you need to know what we're doing for you.
Yeah.
Because we aren't just sitting behind a computer screen and making up an Alta settlement statement.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it.
That's great. Thank you for doing this, Lori. And honestly, what Lori was talking, it reminded me of what my coach just told me about this cartoon that she has up on her wall. It's a little graphic of a bunch of people rowing the boat and somebody standing up there with a whip. Okay. And the person with the whip is stating the beatings will continue until the morale improves. And what we've been doing to title is running them into the ground. We have been abusing the title company. Where's my stuff? Give me my stuff. You can't expect these people to turn this kind of stuff around this fast and then blame them when things don't happen. Let's get realistic on some of these timeframes and let's treat this like a true partnership that we're going to work together. Like not just on this deal, but forever, right? I want to have that relationship. Lori and I know each other for however long, a gazillion years.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, I think one way to manage that a little better,
agents that they want to have, they want to hurry up and get it closed in 30 days, and we're looking for an FHA mortgage. I think we need to be realistic on our settlement dates, stretch them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Set that stage so that we don't run into these hurry up things and stress everybody out, including the agent. And I think the other comment, I think that I heard it correctly, if credit card companies are beginning to put liens on the properties, then that's something that when you're listing a property, you have on the last page, you have the data there for, do they have liens? Do they have any IRS liens? You might want to discuss credit cards as well, because, you know, some sellers are going to be in a position where they've got so much credit card debt, they're not going to have the money to close.
No.
So it's a conversation that we have to have.
Yeah, and that's in conjunction with, you get yourself a nice partnership with the title company and you guys actually run like a team and you treat each other with respect and get the deal done, right? And that's the benefit of having in-house, because we're able to monitor these things. We also have Safeguard, our home and auto company, CMG Home Loans, Marty now with Homefront, America's Preferred Home Warranty, and MV Insurance Services. Remember, we have life insurance, right? We have our life insurance, which you send somebody there. How much do they get, Colleen? $200 every time you get somebody in front of these people. It doesn't matter if they sign up for life insurance or not. You just get an extra $200. Great. I thank you all for coming. I know that yesterday was arduous and it was a lot to take on. So I know it's July. I appreciate you guys. It is my hope that you'll all go out and find your joy, and we're here if you need anything. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yay! We'll just leave this up on the board. Everybody knows. And don't forget, $5 for lunch for KW Cares, right? Pizza and salad. That's all it is ever. Pizza and salads. Yes. It's never lobster and steak.
Thank you.